Today we'll be discussing about the Vedanta philosophy. Before that, we will chant from this mantra and then we will go for the Vedanta philosophy. Naham manusyo nacha devayakshaha na brahmana na kshatriya vaishya shudra na brahmachari na grihi vanasthava bhikshu na cha aham Nija bodha sarupa. This is the Vedanta, that I am not this, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. All the relations that the human being are having, particularly the Indian society, Indian community, they are having different type of stages. No. Ultimately, it goes to I am the consciousness, and that is called Advaita Vedanta. And here, again, in the Atharva Veda, that is also teaching in a wonderful way. Let us also chant this before we go for the philosophy. Ya etam devam ekabrito Veda, to him who knows this God as one. To him who knows this God as one. Ya etam devam ekabritam Veda. Veda means knows. Eka means one. Deva means God. God is one. Sa sarvashmai vipashyati yaccha pranani yacchana. And then he sees everything, that whether it is breathing or not, sentient or not, that is the same consciousness in this. Tamidam nigatam saha sa esha eka eka breath eka eva. To him goes the supreme power. Supreme power means which is power? What is power? Knowledge. Knowledge is power. The moment you are having the knowledge, you are having all power. And supreme power, because you are all-knowing. When you become all-knower, you know each and everything, then you are the most powerful person. Sarvai asmin deva ekabrito bhavanti. He is the one alone. In him all deities become one alone. Every time when you discuss about the Hinduism, even the Hindus, they question why so many gods and goddesses. Look at the other philosophy, look at the other religious groups. They are only having one God. So naturally it becomes one body, one united. So it is so good. Why not the Hindus are also having one God? We are also having one God. And that is our Veda is teaching, only one God. There cannot be two. But this one God is comprehensive of all. This is the speciality in this philosophy, in this religious path. The Hindu, they accept each and everything because of this, it is one but all inclusive. Whether you are worshipping God in form or without form, whether the forms are also many different varieties, different type, it doesn't matter. There is only one God. Why then so many varieties have come? It's because you get solace. I want to find God as my mother. I want to see God as my ruler. I want to get God as these. So all these things are coming in this form, this way. So that is what is called only one. Friends, we were discussing about the philosophy. Why? Because we are discussing this series of lecture, the Saga of the soul. It's the human soul. And human soul is the best. Why? Because it can become God. It can become Brahman. And it can understand each and everything. It can discriminate. Even the ordinary boys, ordinary children, they have learned some computer, and how they are hacking. They are going and entering into, breaking the code of all these things, entering into somebody's, and then creating problem. Hacking is a problem now. But who is doing it? Is an illiterate person? No, very, very intelligent. But what he is doing? A wrong thing. His intelligence, his buddhi is utilized for a wrong thing. What is happening? The result? Prison. Ultimately, he is arrested, he is in the prison. All people are blaming him. His parents, his relatives, his neighbors, they don't like to disclose that that person was with us. Why? Shame. But he was intelligent. Even then, he has created the whole thing so shameful for him and for the people around him. It's a wrong way. So that, what Vedanta is teaching, the saga of the soul. The soul is very intelligent. Why? Because the source is intelligent. The soul is eternal. Why? Because the source is eternal. And the soul is full of joy, full of bliss, full of happiness. Why? Because the source is happiness. Anandeva khalu imani bhutani jayante. From the ananda, from joy only, all these things have come. So what great joy. What is God? Joy, ananda. So what actually we deserve? Ananda. Why then we are suffering? Misuse of our knowledge and nothing else. We are blaming each and every one in the society. But I am supposed to blame myself if I am suffering, because I could not utilize the mind. That is the reason the great souls, the rishis, they have developed a wonderful formula, system, that if you go through these, you will understand. And when you understand, you are beyond all this suffering. The goal is to go beyond the suffering. So here, when we were discussing, first is the Veda, and the brief way, the bird's eye view as they call, we have read the Vedas, then some of the Upanishads, again we will go back to Upanishad, and then the philosophies. And we have studied all the 6 systems of Indian philosophy, and also the other philosophies like the Buddhism, Jainism, the European that philosophy, a little bit of it. And in details, all the 6 systems. Now we have reached to the ultimate, that is called Vedanta. And from today, maybe in 2-3 classes, 2-3 lectures, we'll be completing the Vedanta. Vedanta, the crest jewel of philosophy. What is that philosophy? Explanation. Answer. Philosophy gives the answer in a very rational way. That is the philosophy. What's the religion? A system that you have to follow. Why I am following? Go to philosophy. That is the thing. The philosophy is explaining why you should follow this. So that is the ultimate thing, and we will come to that. The Vedanta has been considered by Radha Krishnan, a very famous philosopher, and he was the President of India, ex-President of India also, and a great personality. And the philosophical world, all they know this name, Radha Krishnan. And this Radha Krishnan, the most influential of the philosophical system is Vedanta. The most influential, why? Because almost all the philosophy is influenced by this. We will go to the details in this philosophy, but this is very, very interesting. Unless and until we know this, whatever we do, all the practices, without knowing we are doing. Suppose just boat rowing, the simple boat rowing. The boat is floating on the water and there is an oar and he was just hitting the water and it is moving. Simple. But if you know the technique, the science of boat rowing, people are going and learning it. You can move faster, and in different situations also, you can keep the boat all right, and that is philosophy. In the religion, when we go right from the beginning, when we are all small kids, the mothers and the seniors, they are holding our hands, forcing us to go. We don't like to go over there, but they will force us to go. We go and we see, we learn something. And the best part of the religion is food. Well, that's why the Hindus, they always give food. The approach through the stomach. So it is good. So you are eating, and the children are very happy. That way they are coming and hearing and listening, and then observing that they are doing this, they are doing that. Then after some time the question arises, why they are doing this? If the mother and the father, they are capable to answer properly, then the growth is proper. And that's why we should know what is the philosophy, what we are doing, and why we are doing. And the Vedanta is the top of that. Why? Veda Anta, the end of all knowledge. Veda means knowledge. And the Anta is the end. That means the end of the Veda. Veda means knowledge. That means the end of the knowledge. That is called Vedanta. Veda Anta. In Sanskrit, Anta means the end. Veda Anta. But question is, what is that knowledge? That will come afterwards. Because that knowledge is profound. Just as one sentence you cannot. Even if it is said, Shankaracharya said, no, I am going to tell you. Not even a complete sentence, in a half sentence. What is Vedanta? Will you understand? Brahma Satya, Jagan Mithya, Jiva Brahmaiva, Napara. So that is called the Vedanta. Now, unless and until you have the basic idea and the practices, then you will never understand it. Majority of the people never care to understand it also. The life is flowing, life is going on, why you have to bother about it? But when the pressure comes on the life, then this question comes. So obviously, if a young person, he is understanding it, when he is beginning his life, it is good for him. And that's why in our society, they divided the life in 4 parts. The human life, it is precious. You cannot simply waste it. You should not waste it. Even an individual human is making a society, is a part of the human society. So obviously the human, if it is not good, all through his life he will be creating problem not for himself but also for the others. So that is the reason. So this human being, how to develop? They divided in 4 parts. First, they taught what? Dharma. You have to understand the philosophy. You have to know why this life is like this. What are the responsibilities that you are going to take? Many of you may remember that when we were reading the Rig Veda, in the Rig Veda, they were teaching, in the Rig Veda, the first book of philosophy, the first book of religion, they are teaching, now the lady, you are educated and you are going to marry, these are the responsibilities you have to follow. Now the gentleman, you are educated, you are going to marry, these are the things, responsibilities you must not forget. And you, the king, you should have to follow this way. And the minister, you should do this. And the army officer, Senapati, this is your responsibility. Can you imagine? The human society is growing up slowly. And particularly importance has been given in the father and the mother, the husband and the wife. Why? Because of the human society. They are the beginner, creator of the human. Unless and until they are having their ideas clear, only for the physical comfort, joy, oh, that's all the animals they do. You are not animals. So that is the consciousness they brought from the beginning. And the moment the human society is good, each and every member of the human society are good, then all others, animals, the birds, the insects, all will live happily. I have seen over here in America, because they can afford. Even the children are encouraged to have a pet, and they will be having different type of pets. They will go and purchase maybe a small, and then they will be keeping that, and the special type of food, taking care. So many things they are doing. Why? Because you are surviving, you are living because of this. All these animals, the birds, the nature, you should protect for your interest. The teaching. So that is the reason. Now the problem is coming, whether we will save these greeneries or not. Is it necessary or not? Question is going on. People are debating. And here we find that the Upanishad is teaching, first thing is the human being. And that is called the knowledge. Vedanta. Veda Anta. Vedanta. And this Vedanta is coming from the Vedas. And the Vedas has been classified as 4. Rik, Sham, Yaju, Atharva. Of course, the Rik is the main. And Sama and Yaju, they are the part of the same Rik. They have explained in different way. Atharva is a completely different. They are standing completely separate. So the Rik means the slokas, Rik Veda. I am not going to discuss on those because that is a different subject and we have already discussed those things. But these 4, Rik, Sam, Yaju and Atharva, these are the 4 Vedas. All are having 3 portions. So what are the 3 portions? First is the mantra and the hymns. In the Rig Veda, first is began whenever the nature they saw, and they used to think this nature must be the most powerful because it is uprooting the tree. The wind is coming so powerful. It's uprooting the huge tree and carrying it. And the waves of the ocean and the hills, mountains, almost touching the sky. That must be the God. So when they saw the thunder coming down and burning the whole forest, that fire is burning the whole forest. And in that fire, so many hundreds and thousands of birds and animals are dead, burning. Tremendous power, Agni Devata. So they imagine in that way. And how to pacify him? By singing, by praying. So hymns started. So these hymns compiled in the Samhita. So that is a chapter of the Veda, is called Samhita. So that's all hymns are there. Then comes Brahmanas. The only singing or the praising won't do. You have to offer something. Suppose I go to your house, I am an honored guest, you receive me with the songs, then ask me to sit and go on praising and singing things about me. Oh, you are great, you are great, you are great. Do you think I will be happy? No. You have to give me some food and the drinks and other gifts, so the rituals. So the next came the Brahmanas and the treatises, all this explaining, guiding how to have the Vedic rituals. So when you are sitting, you should do like this, you should do. In America, we saw most of the cases, but it is in the mostly in the shops and all. But if you go to the Indian aristocratic family, they will never ask you to take your food yourself. They will ask you to sit in one place. And then they will serve the plate properly. All the items will be given. And that too, the items, which item should come first? So that is from the right side, all these items will go on. Anywhere you have given the items, say you are supposed to eat all those things, go on eating. No, not like that. That is the culture. And what type of glass you will use for the water, the drink, and what type of plate, and how you are keeping all the food items, and for the extra, suppose you like this particular dish, this particular preparation, so another that is also just near there, you can help yourself, you can take it. I am not going to force you. So all this way, everything is so nicely, that is called ritual. There are things that there you go and pick up and eat what is there. It's not like this. The rituals is also there. When we are sitting, you have to pour this way, the fire should be like this. So the ritual. Then come Upanishad. So first is the mantra or the hymns. It's called Samhita. Then is the Brahmana. Samhita, then Brahmanas. These Brahmanas are the instructions how to have the rituals. Then come the Upanishads, the philosophical part, the last of this. And this philosophy, this is the basic, and the philosophy, Upanishad. In Sanskrit, they never give just a name. Whenever they are giving a name and a term, it has a meaning, always, every time. So you will find that almost each and every one having a meaning, the name. But in India, they always give the name with a meaning, very good meaning, deep meaning like this. And here the Upanishad, Upa means near, Ni, certainly, Sad is the truth. That particular knowledge which will help you to go near the truth is called Upanishad. To go near the truth, not that you will realize the truth. That is your practice. But this knowledge will help you to go near to the truth. So this is called Upanishad. And this Upanishad was meant as a Rahasya Vidya. Why this Rahasya Vidya? The secret knowledge. Why this secret knowledge? Because this Upanishad teaches that you are God, Vedanta, ultimate. So naturally, ordinary people won't be able to digest it. The most of the people that after coming over here, when I see, the most of them, they are hearing the Vedanta and they are going on uttering on the Vedanta. I am a Vedantin, I am a Vedantin. They are going on telling, I am not the body, I am not the mind, and they are so egoistic. If you don't have the body, if you don't have the mind, where from the ego came? But anyway, they are Vedantists, all undigested. And if majority of the people, they talk like this, behave like that, they will be hypocrites. The human society will be full of hypocrites. That is the reason they said adhikari. Up to the class 9 or class 10, the grade, then they are choosing. You can take this path, science, or the technology, or the culture. So this way they are dividing. Why? according to the temperament, understanding of the pupil, student. The same way they say Vedanta needs adhikari. The best way, you have to understand, and you need not only intellect, sharp intellect, but also the self-control. Unless and until you are having the self-control, you can never do it. So Vedanta was not for all, for a chosen few. Swami Vivekananda brought it, for why? That is for the self-confidence. So he said, very low-key Vedanta he spread over here. Because if it is not, because most of the people, the whole Christendom, they were under the pressure of sinner, sinner, sinner. You are a sinner, you are a sinner. I didn't commit anything. I am just newborn. I didn't do anything. I am still on the lap of my mother. Maybe I am just throwing my legs, that may touch my mother. If that is sin, okay, I am sorry. No, it is not you, it is not your father, it is that first one. If the first somebody, he did some mistake, that is for him. Why you are punishing me? No question. You are a sinner. Wrong thing. Swamiji protested, Swami Vivekananda. And that was his contribution, breaking this bondage, the weakness. You are the lion, you are the soul. Freedom, freedom, freedom. Freedom is the song of the soul. You are pure, eternally pure. You have done some mistakes, that's all. That was the song that Swami Vivekananda sang over here, and that is beautifully accepted, very eagerly accepted by many, many of the people. That's called Vedanta. Along with the Vedanta, what he did, along with the Vedanta, he introduced yoga. In Vedanta, there is nothing to practice the yoga. Vedanta means only you have to have the vichara, but he introduced yoga. The introduction of the yoga in the Western world by Swami Vivekananda. So this is the Upanishad. This is called Rahasya Vidya, very secret knowledge. Then they were taught secretly to the special type of people, and all the schools of Vedanta are based on the Upanishads. Now here, schools of Vedanta, it is not only single school. The Nyaya, the Vaishashika and all others that you have already studied, that is only one school. But for the Vedanta, all the schools of Vedanta, that means there are many schools. What are those? That we will discuss afterwards. It is all the schools of Vedanta are based on the Upanishads. Upanishads, many of the people, they will come and purchase the book and they will try to read. They're the glances of the truth. They don't tell in this way, Ishavashamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tina taktina bunjita magrida kasya siddhanam. Those who understand Sanskrit, or at least they will marvel in the sound. Ishavashamidam sarvam. Isha, the God, is pervading this whole universe. This is a statement of fact. But how to understand it? How to prove it? You said that everything is nothing but God, but you have to prove. So then came a gentleman, a very, very intelligent person. He is Veda Vyasa, Badarayana. This Veda Vyasa, he systematized fast. The first was the knowledge, the Shruti, that was given to us. That's the Upanishad. But the Upanishadic knowledge, unless and until it is in a systematic way given, it's not possible to understand. The majority of the people, they say Hinduism is a lot of philosophy. So obviously, unless and until the philosophy is there, more than 10,000 years it is surviving and spreading. Can you imagine? Because of the philosophy. Explanation. The God came and God created the water you are drinking. Be thankful to God. Okay. But where from He came? Where is God? Then we put our finger on the sky, somewhere there. And so many satellites are going on moving. Can they notice the God living somewhere? No, you cannot ask like this. Satellites are all focusing on the downward, not upward. The God is above that. This is not the answer. This way you cannot. So naturally the human society is developing, brain is developing, question is coming. You have to answer properly. And that is exactly what the Vedas did. The God is everywhere. It's okay. Upanishads say, Rishis say, but how to prove? Systematize the whole thing. But it's a huge, the mass of knowledge. Just in 1 or 2 books it is impossible. He did it 1 book. That is called Brahma Sutra. Shariraka Sutra, different names they gave, but it is famous as Brahma Sutra. 555 verses, sloka only. All the Upanishads, all the Veda he composed, and then he gave that only 555 sloka, that is Brahma Sutra. Someday you will study. And this Brahma Sutra, that is also sutras, the thread, he had no time to explain. So then came another group of people to explain it. But that is called acharyas. But before that, on the basis of these Upanishads, different type of avatars came and they explained. Guru Granth Sahib of the Sikhs community. What is that? The Granth means a book, and that is our Guru. The Sikh community they say. And Sahib means the respect. It's a Sar, it's the honorable. So the book is very highly honorable because that is our Guru. How the book can become Guru? Because it is all giving the teachings. What teachings he is giving? All Upanishads. And the Gita. And the Bhagavata. And also the explanations of the Gurus that came afterwards. As I am explaining now, my disciples, if they are recording, they will say, this is my Guru's version. We are going to follow this. Another cult will start. And like these different type of people are coming, highly knowledgeable people, they explain in their own way. That is the freedom. That is the beauty. You cannot say that only one man should speak and everyone should follow. Why? Everyone has that right to explain. So they were explaining. Now on that came, the first is the Brahma Sutra, 555 sutras, the aphorisms, and that came to explain the Upanishad. The Brahma Sutra, Upanishad, and another book came, Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita is the condensed form of Vedanta, as Chandi is the condensed form of Tantra. Bhagavad Gita is the condensed form of Vedanta. Sometimes some people come, oh, can you suggest any book on the Vedanta? Go and read Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the simplest way to understand the Vedanta. And very sweet language, very simple. But the other is very difficult to understand. So here, these three, they are called Prasthana Traya. Traya means 3. Traya is 3. And Prasthana, exit. So you are going out where? From the circle of birth and death. Again and again we are taking birth and dying and again taking birth. This is going on and on. Sometimes we are a little happy, sometimes we are not. Why is this happening? Is there no end to it? And not that all the time we will born in America, we will have all these comforts. Maybe sometimes some other place also. God forbid, if in Ethiopia, what will happen? The terrible place. So now, this way it goes on. Where we will be born, we do not know. What is going to happen in our life, we do not know. We may suffer. And we may enjoy also. So it goes in this way. So that is called the Prasthana Traya. What are the three books of the Pustanatraya? That is Brahma Sutra, Upanishad and Bhagavad Gita. These are the three called triple foundation of Vedanta. The three legs, triple foundation of the Vedanta. And here, the three stages in the development of the Vedanta. What are the three stages of the Vedanta? The creative stage, represented by the revealed text. The revealed text means the Shrutis. The Vedanta, today I am giving the introduction to the Vedanta, and from the next Sunday onwards we will discuss about the other details in Vedanta. It actually was having three different stages. The first stage is the creative stage. In the creative stage, it is the Shrutis. Who actually developed it? Rishis. Apta, the Sanskrit word, Apta, A-P-T-A, Apta. Apta means he who has realized the truth. Not that imagining something, it revealed itself, realized it, then it's called Aptavakya. Otherwise, it is not. Sometimes some people, wherever you go, yesterday I went to some place and they were asking, Swamiji, take this sweet, take this, that sweet. I told, no, I avoid sweets. I love sweet, but I avoid it. Why you're avoiding? Is this any problem is there? And if this is this, then you can take this type of medicine, you can practice this type of yoga. I never asked, but we are very happy to give some advices. And they were going on telling, ultimately I have to leave the food and come out and sat somewhere. So this way it goes. Why it is happening? Because of these, you have to be careful, cautious, that who is teaching you? Is he capable? Is he apta? Is he realized? Now a famous doctor, if he is talking with you about a particular problem that you are having, you must be attentive to listen and then note it down and take the help of the doctor, because he is apta. In the spiritual life also, anyone coming and giving you some the advices, no. If you listen, then you are a fool. You will be cheated. And that is why Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna cautioned and he said, Bhakta hobi to boka hobi keno. If you are a devotee, it is good, but that doesn't mean that you have to be a fool. No. The foolish person cannot claim that I am a devotee. Devotee is very alert. I am going to go to God. That is the ultimate, the best. I must choose my teacher perfectly. So where from I will get? Rishis. They are the realized souls. They realize those truths, and that is called Shruti. And that realization they told to some people and they continued. Even today, of course it has come down, it has become very small, but even today when the Hindu, the teachers, spiritual teachers give the mantra diksha, they always urge the disciple not to write that mantra or to disclose it to anyone. Shruti. You should listen to it, remember it, cultivate it, then when you are realized, you can give it to somebody else, again through the mouth, the word. So that way the Shruti. Shruti means only listening. Why this? Because you are attentive, concentrated, remembering that mantra. Otherwise, all the time the people can remember the passwords, hundreds of passwords they can remember nowadays. They are having this password, that password, you tell immediately, they won't tell you, but they will take the computer and they will do something and it is open. And can't they remember only the name of God, a particular mantra? They can. But they say, oh, I am doubtful. The mantra that you gave to me, I like to discuss about that. Am I pronouncing or telling the same mantra? I told, come, okay, we can say it again. But the thing is, they are not attentive. The Vedanta demands that you must be completely attentive. 100% mind should be given on that to receive that mantra, remember the mantra, cultivate the mantra all the time, and that is called Shruti. And that revelation came in the hearts of the rishis. Why they are pure? Because there was no other thoughts in the mind. They were completely free from every other things. Because they were completely unselfish. They were not having any demand or any desire, anything in their mind. And then the revelation of God came. Very recently, we have seen Bhagavan Sri Ram Krishna. So many revelations came within his mind, and he disclosed that, and that was tallied with the revelations of the 5,000, 10,000 years before the revelation of the rishis. The same truth, in a different form, in a different language, but the same truth. So that is the thing. Whatever you say, whenever you say, that should tally with this truth. Otherwise, we are not going to accept it. So that is called the Shruti. It is very, very important. The Vedanta scripture, the very first thing is the Shruti. And on the basis of the Shruti, the second is systematization. And the systematization is coming that Athatu Brahma Jigyasa, the first word, the first sutra, the first aphorism that the Veda Vyasa is writing, Atha Brahma Jigyasa. Let us have a discussion about the Brahman. Now, obviously, all other things have already done. When the teacher is inviting you to discuss about the Veda, Brahman, that means all other discipline you have already practiced, otherwise how you will understand? So that is why the Adhikari is a big definition of the Adhikari. Who is the true student of Vedanta? It is completely big list. If you practice all those things, then only will you approach that, and then the teacher says, okay, now I am happy you have come, I have tested you, sit. Let us discuss about the Brahman. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. The Jigyasa is the question. About what? Brahman. What is that Brahman? Consciousness. And how you can explain about the consciousness? It's very, very difficult to explain about the consciousness which is all pervading. Not only that, it is the creator of each and everything. And then it is helping to sustain everything. And then finally taking all the creation back into that. So that is the very, very confusing thing. And now if you say that there is someone, a God, and the God is all powerful, supreme powerful, and he is creating, how he is creating? Just by the will. As the magician, he will be just showing his stick like that, magic that own, and immediately so many things are created. Almost like that, the God is raising his hand and everything is created. We can understand that. Because it comes within our purview. We can understand because it is within the time, space and causation. That is very easy to understand. Most of the people will understand. But when you say there is consciousness everywhere, how it is possible? So the teaching is necessary, and the Veda Vyasa, he collected all those utterings of the rishis, systematized that and told, see, here it is telling like this, here it is telling like that. But, friends, unless and until you have the faith in the Veda, it is better not to read the Brahma Sutra. If you don't have the faith in the revelations of the rishis of the Upanishads, It is of no use. Why? Because he is quoting from the Upanishads. Profusely he is quoting the Upanishads. Brahman is there. I am not telling it. Then he will be quoting this Upanishad, that Upanishad, these and that. All the Upanishads he will quote. See, all these Upanishads, they are all giving the same testimony that this is the way that is there. Unless and until you have the faith on the rishis, then it is of no use. Even then, when he is telling like that, that is also not possible for us to understand. So came all the acharyas and the stage of explanation, elaboration. The first came revelation. A second came systematization. And third stage of Vedanta, elaboration. And when they were elaborating, how they were elaborating? Argument. Here comes the philosophy. This argument when they were having on the commentaries of the bhashyas. Commentaries means bhashya. In Sanskrit they say they are explaining bhashya. And they are commenting on that particular thing. So the commentaries. Now, when I see something, I comment in my own way. When I comment in this way, that is my commentary. You cannot say that this is the way I should understand. I like to understand in my own way. So, suppose you see something in the distance, and when you see that in the distance, and you comment that this is that. Why? I was coming through that way, I saw that. So this is your commentary. And somebody told, no, it has been changed. So they are all going over there. I think tomorrow is the eclipse. And thousands of people going over there. And they will be observing the sun, how the eclipse is coming. And the moon is very happy. This is the first time after 100 years it is going to show its power, covering the sun. So moon is fast moving towards the sun, and then the moon will cover it. And people are also running to a particular place where from they can see. Most of the people, they will also look at the sky to see that. What actually they are going to see? That one round thing is coming and then covering the sun. Is it possible to cover the sun? Why not we see it? The sun is covered. Look at it. It is just like the dirt. And we have to put on the light. Still you don't believe the sun has been covered? The scientists will say, no, it is not. It is only for the temporary it is coming. So there will be a lot of commentaries tomorrow in the radio and TVs. All great people will be coming and commenting why after 100 years only the moon is coming. So it takes these and that. Now tomorrow is the day for the scientist. So they will have lot of interviews and all this. Commentary. Each and every one is coming and giving a commentary in his own way. Now each and every commentator will have some followers also. I like this type of commentary. I like this explanation. This is good. That's for me. So they become the followers. So this same way, the bhashyas, the bhakhyas, the commentaries that came, many commentaries were there, but major commentaries, that was by three great minds. First and foremost, Advaita Vedanta, monism, that is by Sri Shankaracharya, Shankara. Now this Shankara, he was explaining the whole thing in a wonderful way. What is that? How this world came. Who created this world? When he created, whether we were outside or inside the creation, when he created me, has he also created these trees, these plants, these birds, these animals? If it is so, are we all one or same? If it is so that we are all one, why we are having different bodies and different names? And as a very common question that we always hear, when these jivas, the jivatmas, are dying, the human beings are dying, the number should reduce. But instead number is going on increasing. How it is possible? Where from the numbers are coming and adding into the human being. So these are the common questions. So this way they will explain. The Shankara will explain from his own point of view. And second, Vishishta Advaita, qualified monism. One is monism, another is qualified monism. Why qualified? Because he has made a little changes. Shankara's monism, then he changed a little, and then qualified monism. You like to drink milk, but the pure milk is difficult for you to digest. Then someone put little water into it. You are drinking the milk, the same milk, but added with little water. Why? For you to understand, for you to digest. It's for you. So qualified monism is like that. The people who cannot understand the pure monism, pure Advaita, for them it is a little adjusted. So qualified. Who did it? Another great soul, Ramanuja. And third came, they call God is completely different, we are completely different. Majority of the religion, they follow this philosophy. God is different, we are different. It is very easy to understand. I am the part and parcel of God and there is nothing but me. Almost impossible. That is called Advaita Vedanta. Then God has created me, but God is separate than me. Like the king and the prince. The prince, he is also the son of God, the king, but he cannot go and sit on the throne of the king. That power is not there. So that separation, called qualified monism. And then come the Dvaita. They said, no question. The God is completely different, you are all different, and somehow you can go near to God, get the blessings of God. Otherwise, you have to suffer whatever way the God will put you. So that is called Dvaita. Dvaita means two. And that is the propound that the teacher is Madhva, Madhvacharya. These are all great names. You know why these three schools they separated? Only one small question. Only one question they separated. What is that question? What is the nature of the relation between the self and the Brahman? What is the nature of relation? Shankara said, I am that, so aham. Recently someone forwarded a lecture by some guru, he is American, and he was telling why you people are so afraid to say, I am God. Okay, I will say on your behalf, I am that. And that is Vedanta he was telling. He was dressed like the Indian person and also having the Japamala, etc. So Vedanta he was speaking. So he didn't utter the word Vedanta, at least the lecture, I didn't listen to the whole lecture, he was telling the Vedanta. I am that. All are not courageous to say like that. How can it be that? Okay, in between. So they say that God has created the jivas and the part and parcel of the God, but you cannot say it is God. How? Then they give the example that the fire and the sparks. There is a classical example, the fire and the sparks. All that is coming out of fire, it has all the properties of fire, but it is not fire. When you see the spark, it is all floating, You cannot say this is fire, but that is fire. If it is fire, then why separate name has been given to it? So that is the way I am, though created by God, all potentialities and the properties of God, but I am separate. That is Ramanuja. That is the relation. The question is, what is the relation? There's no differentiation, no separation. I am that, Shankara. He said, no, little separation is there. I am from that, created from there, but separate. So, Ramanuja. Then Madhva came and told, forget about that. God is all purity, goodness, love, and you are exactly opposite. How can you be like that? Don't think about that. The only thing that is possible for you to go on praying, so that the God will look at you and call you, come, sit with me. That is the highest position. So, Sayujya, Sarupya, Salukya, all the Sanskrit names they give in the Vaishnava. The Vaishnavas, they follow the Madhva, and also many, they say, if you are following God, praying to God, you will go to God, near to God. So that is the three different schools, friends. We will be discussing about it. But in the philosophy, you know where it is different? Because you say God has created this universe. Now you have to prove how it has created. The pastor, he was giving the lecture, and in the front row, one elderly lady and her grandson came, and the lady fell asleep, and the pastor constantly looking at that lady, and he was feeling disturbed. Then he said to that young boy, hey, ask your grandma to wake up. He was playing something, that little boy, and he raised his eyes and said, you have put her to sleep, now it is your duty. Why I am going to? So you have put her to sleep. So I cannot. So this is the way, then when you say that God is all pervading it, it is your duty to prove it. How you will prove it? So Nyaya, Vaishashika, and all the Shanka, Yoga, all they came and they are explaining what you know, how I look at it. So that is called the pramana, and different type of pramanas. The Charvakas, I will take another 2 or 3 minutes. The Charvakas, out and out, there is this materialistic. There is only, if I can have the perception, direct perception, that I believe, otherwise not. The materialist. So they will go and touch and taste and see and smell, then they say, oh, I believe it now, otherwise I won't. So that is called Charvaka. Majority of the people, many people, they followed them. But the question again came against to that, as we have already discussed. Suppose you see with your own eyes, do you believe what you are seeing? There may be different thing. Sometimes we see, one lady used to come over here, I all the time used to feel, oh, she is so and so. I used to call her in that name. Oh, Swamiji, you are again mistaken, I am not that. So like this, I am seeing, even then I make the mistake to recognize. So this is the way things goes. So naturally, you cannot say, I have touched. So say Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is giving a story. The 6 blind, they went to see the elephant, all of them. They went and they touched the part of the elephant, the belly, the tail, and the leg, and they came back and they were reporting in their own way. All of them, they are true, but partial truth. So that way, when you go, when you see, when you touch, maybe that you are making a mistake. So obviously, Charvaka's philosophy was rejected. Then the Buddhist And the Jains came, they do not believe in the perception of God, there is a creator, they do not believe. So, no question of the other things. But the Buddhists, they believe in the karma theory and reincarnation. Then the Vaishashikas, they added perception and inference. And you know that famous perception means, I see over there the smoke. And the moment I see the smoke, I can infer safely that there is fire. Without fire, how can there be smoke? So the perception and inference. And Shankyan Yoga, perception, inference and verbal testimony. They added 3. They went to the third one. Perception, I see. Inference, I imagine. And also I believe the words of some people, the good people, those who were there. So the words. This is the way it goes. Nyayikas, they are adding also another. And afterwards, Mimamsa, they also make the, then comes the Vedanta, they say all the 6 systems, different way. Perception, inference, comparison, verbal testimony, presumption and non-apprehension, all this comes. When the Vedanta is proving, they are proving in this way. So this is this, otherwise how can you explain? Friends, we will discuss it in our next class again. Please come. But I like to invite you to join us and how to deal with our difficulties, a very wonderful retreat we are going to organize in this next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the Ganges, Michigan. You can go to our website and you can online register. Please come over there. 3 days we all together will stay, and the food, all other arrangements will be there. A beautiful place. The volunteers, they take very good care of the people who go over there. Please come. That is the how to deal with our difficulties. The Swami will come tomorrow, and he is a young Swami, and his name is Sunirmalananda. He is from Netherlands, Vedanta Society, Netherlands. Please come and join. Let us say Shanti 3 times. Om Shanti. 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 Hari Om. So let me remind you that the Shanti means peace. But the disturbances come from 3 different places. One is the nature. Second, from the beings, fellow beings. And third, from yourself, body or mind. So the 3 Shantis is the praying to that. So please be happy with me, friendly with me. So Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you very much. Thank you, Swamiji, for coming.